right. Hey, welcome to another dope episode of You Didn't Get the Memo. Y'all, we got a great show for you as always, and I want to thank you all for tuning in wherever you are, YouTube, Facebook, and coming soon, we're going to be on LinkedIn. So I am excited that you are here with me today. Now, let me just remind you what You Didn't Get the Memo show is all about. It's about providing you, the viewer, with relevant, factual, mainstream information to help you be informed and to make informed decisions. With that being said, if you have questions that you want to pose to my guests, be sure and put them in the comment section. We'll do our very best to get answers, respond to them, and I promise you, even after the show has ended, we go back and we'll make sure that we respond to whatever your questions are. Now, I just want to tell you that today I am deeply honored and always humble, to God be the glory, to have with me my guest, Miss Naja Roberts. She's going to talk to us about cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and its role in technology. So for those of y'all who aren't clear about what's happening right now with regards to blockchain technology, we want you to get informed. We want you to get involved. But let me tell you a little bit about my guest. Miss Naja Roberts is the Chief Visionary Officer of Crypto Blockchain Crypto Blockchain Plug. She's a public speaker. She's a cryptocurrency educator. She's an entrepreneur. She's a financial literacy. She's an influencer. And as an experienced chief visionary officer who has an extensive background in the financial services industry, let me just tell you, this sister is skilled in strategic planning, team building, public speaking, management. And here's the thing, she has strong business development as a professional with a background. She has a bachelor's degree that focused, and get this, in criminal justice administration, and she has a master's degree in business. And if y'all don't think this is dope, I don't know what is. I'm just gonna tell you, she gonna bring it to you. But her passion is about educating the community and making sure that the information that is given to those who have been marginalized. Y'all, help me welcome my guest, Miss Naja Roberts in the house.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me here. You are incredible. Your work is just phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're just, look, I know people, like I said, before we went live, people were asking, I need to know about this technology. I want to be on here. And so we're just going to jump right in. We're going to get into it. First of all, though, I just kind of gave some snippets about your background. But my sister, look, just come on and literally give us that backstory. Where you grew up, college, who were your mentors, your idol. And I want to level set that before we get into talking about cryptocurrency. So tell us your backstory, Miss Naja.
Well, my backstory is I was born and raised right here in the city of Los Angeles, which I am now living currently. But I did like everybody told me to do, my parents and everybody else. They told me to go to school to get a good education so I could get that good job. And so when I came back from college, I found myself in a position where all of my friends that didn't go to college, when I came back to Los Angeles, they all were working for the county and the state and the city. And I just really felt like I had gotten robbed. I spent 4 years trying to get this degree to come back to the city of Los Angeles and work in the district attorney's office, only to find out that there was a hiring freeze. And so I got hired. I make a joke all the time. I got hired at the happiest place on earth. Some people might say that's Disneyland, but any state that you're in, you would know that the Department of Motor Vehicles is not the happiest place on earth. So I worked there a couple of years and just really realized that I could be broke and go to work every single day from 9 to 5, struggling, surviving, not even thriving with this state job. And I just decided, after the birth of my second child, that I could just be broke at home and become an entrepreneur and figure it out. And so that is exactly what I did. Went back to school, got my master's while at home as an entrepreneur, had a lot of other things happen in between, but ultimately I wound up in financial services. And let me just go back and say I have done everything in network marketing. I have sold, I don't know, since we talking to our folks, most of our folks know about those girdles. I used to be that one that was making $10,000, $15,000 a month, dropping you in two dress sizes, no diet, exercise pills. You remember that? Artisan, that was me. I did a lot of good things in network marketing. I love the aspect of dealing with my folks and just really helping my community. And so, but it ultimately led me to financial services.
Right.
And financial services for myself and my husband really became a burden. And I say that because we wanted to make sure that our community really had something that could be handed down to them that could help them during retirement. Because I got tired of hearing folks say I'm on a fixed income. And I just thought if we got into financial services and we did the good that we did in these other industries in financial services, that we could literally do something for our community to change the financial trajectory. Now, that being said, I didn't get the memo. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't get the memo.
All right, come on.
Because the harder I worked, the more I dug, the more rabbit holes I went down, I realized that there was not an instrument that we use today that was designed, first of all, for us to win as consumers.
Right.
And I'm talking about your hedge funds, I'm talking about your 401ks, I'm talking about your annuities. They were not designed specifically for us to win, but it was about business. And so if I'm getting into something to help my community and what I'm selling them might help a little bit, but not really so much. And if they don't do it properly, they wound up losing in the end. I really started to ask the Most High, what is your purpose? Like, what is my purpose here on earth? I know I'm supposed to be in this space, but if you're not giving me the tools that I need to really help my community, but not only that, to focus on closing the wealth gap that exists in America and beyond, like I feel like I'm useless in this space.
Yes.
And so Bitcoin was introduced to me once and twice. And sometimes you hear that story about the boat that comes for the rescue and you send the boat off.
Right.
And so I didn't get it the first or the second time, but the third time is a charm. And when I really started understanding cryptocurrency, well, Bitcoin specifically, and what it could possibly do for our community, I got an epiphany that this is one of the ways that we could really close the wealth gap if done properly. And now it was my job to get the memo to the community. So I cannot say that the name of this show is just so relevant because we need to get the memo. And so I'll stop right there and we'll kind of explore what that actually means.
Yeah. So, and thank you for saying that because that's what the show is about. It was born out of a book that I wrote because I realized in corporate America there are all these things that I didn't get the memo on, and I'm certain that there are so many other people. So, title of the show, it's appropriate because there is always something that is said by my guests that somebody will get the memo on. So, thank you for sharing that. The third time is a charm. So that leads me right into, let's just jump in. How did you talked about how you had been introduced to cryptocurrency and the third time was the charm. So let's just tell our viewers exactly what cryptocurrency is. So first of all, they have that understanding.
So cryptocurrency is, and I'm going to say it the easiest way I know how to say, it is digital money. And I'm not going to say cryptocurrency because there's lots of different cryptocurrencies that do lots of different things. So just so your viewers are clear, there are over 10,000 different cryptocurrencies out there. But I'm going to try to help you all and specifically talk about Bitcoin because that will help you understand where it started and how and what it was supposed to be. So Bitcoin is digital money. It was designed to do peer-to-peer transactions. And the reason it was born initially, and I'm talking about Bitcoin specifically in 2009, this was around the time when we were having the financial crisis where the government kept bailing out the banks. And the regular little people, such as our communities, we were losing our homes, we were losing all kinds of things, and the banks were getting the houses back, but the banks were also getting a bailout. So now you have an asset back and you're getting a bailout. And a lot of things just really didn't seem fair all the way around. And so someone created this digital currency because, as you know, our monetary system is designed to run on the act to actually run in a centralized way, and that's through our Federal Reserve banks. And so the wherever you put your money, that's who runs things, who's in control. And
Right.
so somebody created this digital currency so that we can now start to be our own banks, that we can understand that we can set the value and not leave it to other families. And I say other families because there's only a certain amount of families that run all the banks in America and abroad. And people don't really know that. It boils down to about 12 families. And this Bitcoin thing came along 2009, and it was really a rebellion against the status quo of being able to everything is monopolized, everything runs through the bank, every single dime, everything. And so it was just a way for us to be a community and gain the things that we needed to gain without having to go through a central authority to do so.
Yeah. And you can always tell when there is, so much blowback or pushback from something. And there was a lot as it related to just talking about Bitcoins, right? People were like, oh no, this is not the way to go. And why I wanted to talk about it is because it is, we talk about blockchain technology, when we talk about artificial intelligence, we talked about cryptocurrency. This is what's happening. This is what's the future is going for. And we need to get educated and make sure that we are aware. But we're going to also get into talking about some of the positive things that you can actually do as it relates to cryptocurrency. And like you said, I mean, I was just trying to read up. There are so many. And I do want to just drop this in there. I know that you actually do classes. I know for businesses for sure, but I've been putting up your information because people will want to contact you in regards to doing hopefully individual, or if you do group training and things of that nature as well. So please be sure and reach out to Naja. But let's talk about, before we go any further, there's that other arm, the blockchain technology. And can you just explain how these two work together, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, so people have, again, an idea of, okay, what are we talking about as we continue to move forward in this dialogue?
So yes, so just very simply put, blockchain is a sophisticated database. Okay, it's the exact same thing as a database. We all know what a database is. A database was designed to do four things. You get information and you actually input it in the database. You store it there for everybody to see. If you wanted to alter the information, you could alter the information. And then if you didn't like the database at all, you just delete it. That's what a database does. Point blank simple. You share it amongst, you alter it, you delete it if you need to, period. Well, blockchain is a sophisticated database that only does two of those four things. Information is inputted there for everyone to see, but it cannot be altered and it cannot be deleted. Therefore, it takes the trust out. You no longer have to trust what my word is because I gave you this database, and I'm talking about the traditional database, because I could have altered records and said that I was the owner of something when in fact I wasn't, because I have the option to delete and or alter and do whatever I want to do. But when I hand you a blockchain record, you know that it is fact, because not only have I put information on the blockchain to keep record, there's also a community of people that can see it at the same time, and they have verified that that thing is so, and it stays there forever and cannot be changed.
Right.
So
Right.
what's beautiful about it is blockchain is a technology that will be there with or without Bitcoin. Okay. So let me try to give you this analogy, really
Okay.
simple. So you
Nope.
got this database. Now you put money on this database that says Naja has 50 Bitcoin. The community says that's absolutely correct. That block is closed. It can never be changed until I open it and say I'd like to send this your platform 12 Bitcoin because you're doing an incredible job in the community. And so I want to send it over to your organization through what we call a wallet. And everybody checks to make sure that I have that 12 coin to send to you, because they can look in the blockchain and see it's verifiable. With that being said, the blockchain can exist without cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency cannot exist without the blockchain. So it's just like your cell phone. Your cell phone would be equivalent to the blockchain. You
Mhm.
can pick up your phone and use it for different things, but Bitcoin is just an app on the phone. And if you don't have the phone, you can't use the app.
Right.
So you have to have blockchain, and then those coins on the blockchain, and then they're utilizing those apps. So what we're going to probably talk about today is beyond Bitcoin,
Yes.
because people need to know that blockchain exists again with or without Bitcoin, but Bitcoin could not exist without blockchain technology.
And that just speaks to, thank you for really, explaining that, because people are worried about, can it be hacked? Can folks get in and can they alter it? Can things be done? But that check and balance there, that is just so critical. And I thank you for just, like I said, I love it when you just lay it out there, something that a third grader can understand. So here's the thing. What I would, I'm going to ask you this question. We got to pay the bills, Naja. So, and
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to send those 12 Bitcoins over, I'm, I'm there. Uh, but, when we come back, I want you to address, all of the different ways that cryptocurrency can be used, because this is the wave of the future. And I just think that people are have those questions and things that we can talk about. So for you guys, I see your comments. Thank you so much, all of you from around the country. Thank you so much for tuning in. But we're going to take a really, really quick break. We'll be right back with Miss Naja Roberts, who is the guru of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Let's get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese.
Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines.
To get the facts, visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to load their minds. Dare to explore. Dare to STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM.
All right. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging in and your questions and comments thus far. We have with us my awesome guest, Miss Naja Roberts, who is, as I said, she's considered the guru of cryptocurrency and also blockchain technology. And before we went to break, one of the questions that I posed to Miss Naja was, how can cryptocurrency be used? Let's just talk about all of the different ways that cryptocurrency can be used.
Well, yes. So as we talk about being, first of all, specific to our community, I really believe that it is the sole way that we're going to be able to close the wealth gap. Now, people ask, how is that going to be so? The reason that is so is for the last 150 years, our community has been trying to close the wealth gap with everything from insurances to real estate to all these things. And the truth of the matter is, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed 158 years ago, and we own less than 1% of the wealth in this country. And here we are 158 years later, and we still own less than 1% of the wealth. So I have to say to you that famous quote, if you continue to do what you have been doing, you're going to continue to get what you've always gotten. And so we've got to do something different, and we've got to do it quickly. So how can cryptocurrency be used in our community? Cryptocurrency can be used by us purchasing, and I'm not talking about crypto because there's a lot of different use cases, and we'll talk about some of them. But Bitcoin specifically, I feel like cryptocurrency, the major thing that can happen with Bitcoin is it is a store of value, and it is a wealth builder for our community. So cryptocurrency can be used as a store of value. It can be used for remittances. There are so many people across the globe that are just really benefiting from being able to send Bitcoin peer-to-peer. It's borderless. They don't have to explain why they're sending $10,000 worth of Bitcoin over to their sickly parents. They don't have to go to a Western Union or a MoneyGram and pay this absorbent amount to send funds over. Like, there's so many different use cases, and that's why it's picking up so well. In fact, today is a monumental day. Today, El Salvador, just a few hours ago, made a law that Bitcoin is now legal tender in El Salvador, which is huge. And so they are the first, this is the first one, that today is the first step towards what we call mass adoption throughout the world. So there are so many different use cases. And I tell everybody, Bitcoin, and people say, oh, well, Bitcoin's not backed by anything. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is built on social construct. So there's so many different things that people can do. But we're asking, and I'm asking, I'm not a financial advisor anymore. This is not financial advice. This is for education and informational purposes only. But what we're suggesting to our community is right now, because Bitcoin has not matured the way that it's going to, that you buy and hold. And again, not financial advice, not soliciting anybody, but I do want to make sure that folks understand that the wealth transfer is happening, and we have almost $3 trillion with a T that has been put into Bitcoin. Why is that significant? Because the market cap for gold, and we all know gold is a store of value. We've been using gold for 5,000 years. The market cap on gold is right at $10 trillion, 5,000 years old. But here we have something that's 12 years old, folks, and it has almost $3 trillion invested in it. And that means money is changing. And within the next 5 years, we really feel like if you didn't get the memo, you would be in massive trouble.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And I think one of the things when you look at when we're talking about Bitcoin, and I just want to go back to something you said at the very beginning. Bitcoin is what everybody kind of knew and heard of, right? But there are other cryptocurrencies that are out there. It's not just, quote, Bitcoin. But I love the fact that you talk about when you're getting into this is to be able to hold it and to understand the technology. Now, we have a question from one of our viewers. One is, how do they purchase Bitcoin? So as viewers ask questions, we'll move around, but still come back to some of the questions that you and I have said that we'd like to talk about. So to answer this viewer's question, how do you purchase Bitcoin?
So you purchase Bitcoin through what we call exchanges. So exchanges are like banks. So you go to the exchange online in most cases. I just happen to have the only brick and mortar place where you can buy Bitcoin in the United States. You can always reach out to us, but you can go online and you can find different what we call exchanges to exchange your regular money, which we refer to as fiat, FAIT. You can exchange your fiat for Bitcoin on any of those platforms. You're going to have to do something that is called KYC. That is know your customer. Anytime you go to a bank to open up a bank account, you need to bring your social security card, your ID. You're going to have to, fill out a signature card. You're going to have to go show proof of address. Well, these exchanges work exactly the same. It's called know your customer. We have to know who we're doing business with. So you'll have to go to the exchange, say, hey, I'd like to trade my fiat for some Bitcoin. And they'll say, okay, we need front and back of your ID. We need your social, proof of address. All those things are still applicable in this space because we have to do the same checks and balances that a bank would have to do. But after that process is completed, and we've identified that you're not a terrorist or you're not on the money laundering list, we can then do business with you. And then we show you how to take your fiat money. And it doesn't matter if it's cash or if it's in the bank or if it's, if you need to send a wire or a Zelle, most of the platforms are set up to help you with that. And ours is no different. We help walk you through the process.
Yeah.
So that's how you buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, it seems like we've got one person that seems to be fairly knowledgeable about this. And he made a comment, someone had asked, how can you purchase? And he says you can buy Bitcoin on exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, Gemini. So those are some of the things. What are your thoughts in regards to that?
So yes, so thank you very much for that. That is a very smart viewer. However, one of the ones that was listed is had been one of our go-tos for a very long time, and that one is Coinbase. And I actually would ask each of you to do your own due diligence. Coinbase is not a platform I support, only because they don't support our community at all. And if you look up a Forbes article that says Coinbase's treatment of their Black employees, that may give you a reason that you don't want to use Coinbase. But if you're going to use Coinbase anyway, regardless to what I say, please go and use Coinbase Pro, because those fees are much cheaper than the regular Coinbase platform. Aside of that, Coinbase is notorious for shutting down services when you need to either buy more because the price has dropped, or if you're in a position to buy and sell, when it's time to sell, they don't execute those orders, and they've been doing that like that for many years. And we know it's not their technology, it's just what they do. And I do want to chime in and tell folks places they should not buy. Other than Coinbase for their ethical issues, you do not buy on PayPal, Venmo, Webull. Robinhood has been robbing the hood since they started. Do not buy on that platform either. And then there's another one called SoFi. Why is that? Because they don't allow you to buy your Bitcoin and then put it in your own private wallet. So in essence, when you're buying from those 5 platforms I just named, you're not even really buying Bitcoin. You're buying their database that says you have Bitcoin, because they never have to give it to you. The only way that you can liquidate it is sell it back to them, but you can never put it in your private wallet. Your viewer just put a bunch of exchanges up there where you buy your Bitcoin, but you bought Bitcoin, but they own it because you haven't taken it off and put it in your own wallet. So basically, when you buy from Coinbase, Gemini, Binance, any of those, all they're doing is issuing you an IOU. And when you go back to get it, then they give it to you and allow you to put it on your own platform. What we do from the beginning, because we know that this space is about self-sovereignty, being your own bank, you actually buy from us, and immediately we put it into your wallet, because this is about you having custody of your assets and not Coinbase or Kraken or any of those. And if you dig a little bit deeper, just last week, Coinbase, it was uncovered that Coinbase has had at least 2,000 people whose Bitcoin has been missing out of their wallet, and Coinbase has not been getting back to them on the customer service side. You don't hear that stuff because the news is suppressed. But that is a reason why we educate our community, because even though you buy on those platforms, you need to immediately put it into your own wallet, because on those platforms, you don't have your private keys, which means, again, it's not your coin, not your keys, not your coin. As we say in the neighborhood, not your keys, not your cheese. So make sure you don't hold your Bitcoin on those exchanges.
All right. All right. Okay. So, Miss Naja, this is great. You've got dialogue. Let's see. What's the next? Here's a question from a viewer. What is the number one Bitcoin stock that you would buy stock in yourself? I'm in the stock market as an investor. Are these coins federally insured?
So to answer your question, no, these coins are not federally insured. However, there are folks, again, today, a monumental day, there's a bank back east that is the first one in the United States to have and be able to sell Bitcoin to you and hold your Bitcoin in their custody. And again, not what this space is about. So this coin is not FDIC insured. And there absolutely is not. And as it relates to stock, there's a lot of stocks that you can buy that where they participate in Bitcoin, which doesn't give you the exposure you need. But as an ex-financial advisor, I can tell you that those funds have done less or perform less than just buying and holding Bitcoin altogether. And so what we're really trying to really get our community to understand is you can continue to do what you've done in the past, which is participate in a fund or a stock where they literally take the fees, they make the lion's share of the money and then give you the little bitty profits. Or you can gain and buy this asset that you hold that you're able to control and you take all of everything because it belongs to you. Mm-hmm. And so there are so many funds. There's grayscale funds. And again, I have clients that deal with grayscale, and I'm not saying it's bad either way, but I know that the clients that I have that have a grayscale account, which is where they're participating in Bitcoin, they paid almost $300,000 in fees. $300,000 when they put that in to grayscale would have gotten them 20 Bitcoin. 20 Bitcoin today, Bitcoin is at $50,000. So you go do the math. They're not making that at grayscale. Right. So that being said, we have to start to rethink. And I'm not saying don't do your stocks. I'm saying cryptocurrency needs to be done in addition to everything that you're doing. Right. But Bitcoin specifically needs to be done as a store of value, a digital gold that you're looking at because you want to know what the fluctuations, the up and downs of the market that they do. But, when people ask me, is it backed by FDIC? And that's a valid question. And I'm not going to say anything to that, only just so you know, in banking, your money is FDIC insured up to a certain amount, but that's not in every single bank. It's only in one, and it's all collective. So you got $1 million here, 350,000 here, and you're only insured up to that amount with all those accounts. If you don't believe me, you need to take a look at that. Right. And the dollar is not backed by anything either. A lot of people still in our community are miseducated and they think that our dollar is backed by gold. It absolutely is not. And because the dollar is losing value and the dollar is continuing to lose value, the more money they continue to print, we're going to be in the next 5 years in a very precarious situation because they've got to figure out how to get ahead of this. And right now they're just pushing money into the system, which is us, because they know we're consumers and we're holding the market up artificially. If you've been in the stock market the last year and a half, you've been doing great. I don't argue that. But the issue with that is we folks, America, have been given this money. And because we folks feel it's free, we're going out and we're spending it, which is what is artificially making this market look like it's great. They're continually putting money in our mailbox. In fact, if you look at any of my videos that I just did, I still got one sitting on this desk. Not with my address, but I got a check this week. I got a check the week before last too. They gave me advances on my 2021 taxes. Unheard of. They're giving this money away now so they can do what they need to do to help pump up our markets. And then next year, they got to figure out how to bail out this year's.
Mhm.
So we're in a situation where it's almost like a Ponzi scheme, in my opinion, because they got to figure this out as they go. And
Yeah.
so we really have to be careful what we're investing in, because we're investing in things that they control. When they're in trouble, they're going to seize those things
Right.
because they're going to need them, just like they did. And if you don't believe me, in history, they took everybody's gold. 1931, you would go to jail if you did not turn your gold into the Federal Reserve Bank or its agents. Look it up if you don't believe me. And
Yeah.
if you have your Bitcoin stored on these exchanges and or these FDIC banks, you're going to be subjected to them being able to take your Bitcoin when they need it.
Right. And that's real. And I'm happy to hear you say that, because people, you need to understand that it ain't no such thing as free money. They're not giving you free money. You have to stop and think, what does this really and truly mean? So I appreciate that. But let me get to a couple of other questions. This is a great discussion. The question is, what kind of investment is required to start investing in Bitcoins, and in particular, just cryptocurrency? You just said the rate for Bitcoin right now is over $50,000. That's for one Bitcoin.
Right.
So what are we talking about when we talk about what type of investment? Because that's what you would do. Somebody would come to you and say, Naja, I have $1,000 and I want to invest in Bitcoin. So what would you say to that particular client?
Well, even though I sell Bitcoin, it's not all about us and what we do. So the first thing I would tell you, what does it take to get started? $5, $1, $100. You do not have to buy an entire Bitcoin. Bitcoin is meant to be divisible into 100 million parts. That means it was designed to let just the small folks get involved wherever they could fit in. So today, if you have $5, if you have Cash App, you can open up your Cash App right now, this very second. Within the next 2 minutes, you can have $5 worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But what we're asking today in the cryptocurrency space is that every family, every individual buy at least $30 worth of Bitcoin. Why $30? Just the number everybody came up with, but we spend $30 at lunch.
Yeah.
So we're asking people to buy $30 in Bitcoin today to commemorate El Salvador, again, making Bitcoin legal tender today. But as a community, we're asking every family in America, in the neighborhood, to purchase and have and hold at least 1 million Satoshis. So what does that mean? What does 1 million Satoshis mean? Right now, that's approximately $500. We're asking you to buy 1 million Satoshis, first of all, per household. But maybe you've got it a little better than that, and you want to get 1 million Satoshis for you and 1 million Satoshis for your husband or wife. Then that's 2 million Satoshis. Maybe you have a child and you want to get 1 million Satoshis for that child. What we're suggesting is that the price of Bitcoin today will definitely not be the price of Bitcoin in about 5 years. And if Bitcoin does what it's done over the last 5 years, we're looking at well over $350,000 per coin. But if you're doing what we're suggesting, is just buying a little at a time, and it's called dollar cost averaging. You participate in the market when the price of Bitcoin is high, and then you participate when it's low. So what that means is, in your mind, you say, okay, every month I'm going to spend $100 and buy Bitcoin. Well, take a look at it. Susie Orman has told all of her housewife followers that they need to invest $100 a month in Bitcoin. She said that back, I think it was about May of this year. You can take a look at it, and she's super conservative and was all against Bitcoin. But for her to come out and tell her followers to get $100 a month in Bitcoin is great. but also I deal with all these other financial advisors that have been bound by their by their company not to say a word about Bitcoin. So they can't even say anything about Bitcoin. So they send their clients to me, some of them high net worth, and the instructions are to make sure that they have 30% of their portfolio in Bitcoin. High net worth individuals have 30% of their portfolio in Bitcoin specifically, not all these other cryptocurrencies. And our community doesn't even have $30 worth. So what we're saying is start with $30. Let it sit there. It's not going to kill you, hopefully. Put it in a private wallet and just see what it does. And every month, if it's $10, you put $10 in. Dollar cost average your way up to your million Satoshis, which again, right now is 500. Next week, it may be $600. But then next week, it could even very well be $300. Now you, instead of you paying or putting in $10, maybe put in 20. Because the thing is not to sell when the price goes down. The thing is to buy more while it's on sale. And I say it all the time. Bitcoin is on sale. And for those of you who are not getting the memo or don't get the memo today, you are going to get in on Bitcoin at the price you deserve. Bitcoin is here to stay. It is not a scam. It is not going anywhere. But the longer you wait, the further you are away from stacking enough of these small portions of Bitcoin called Satoshis to really take your family to the next level. Because it's not about having a life insurance policy and dying and leaving millions of dollars to your family. That's awesome. But what about your lifestyle here? What about your retirement here? You want to be working because you want to and not because you have to. And many of the retirement things that are in place right now are not designed for us to win. And I can have a conversation with y'all about that at a later date, but they got some tricks up their sleeves. And you gotta really be careful.
Right. Okay. So, guys, I love these questions. And like I said, we may not get to all of them, but this is one last comment, or actually a question that a viewer has for you, and then we're going to get into just quickly talking about how someone can use cryptocurrency to do a credit-free loan if they own cryptocurrency. So a lot of the things that we run through as relates to banks, there's an issue. But here's a question: what platform do you recommend? And y'all, let me just say before you answer, Miss Naja, listen, I've been putting her name, her phone number. You text her, she'll text you back. So let's, utilize this information. But this is just a platform to educate you and to elevate your knowledge. But at the same time, you know what? Miss Naja is here. She's here to help us, and you can tell her passion. And she hasn't taken a drink of water. This is just talking. So that was the question. What platform do you recommend? And I'm going to say for someone that's just getting started into understanding cryptocurrency, they have nothing other than, let's go back to that $1,000, and they want to own a little bit of Bitcoin, but they also want to diversify and have, some other cryptocurrencies.
Right.
Do you have a specific platform that you kind of start,
Yes.
with?
Yes. So one of the platforms I'm a co-founder of, and we put it together for our community, is called the Black Wall Street Wallet. So if you go to your app store on your Android and or iPhone, you can find the Black Wall Street. And the Black Wall Street is where you can start. You can also start with My Exchange. Again, crypto blockchain plug. We can help you out. When you get into getting those other coins, you need to understand that every transaction you make, because of how regulation is starting to play, they're taxing you every single time you move your Bitcoin into another coin. So again, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not a tax professional. You have to seek tax advice, but you can go to the Black Wall Street app. You may find it under Hill Harper's Black Wall Street app. You can purchase Bitcoin there. You can purchase it from us. You can purchase Ethereum. But again, there are tax implications every time you trade in or out of each one of these coins. And you need to understand that sometimes the taxes are not even going to be more than it's going to be more than your gains if you don't do this properly. So you really want to know what you're doing in this space.
Okay. All right. So using cryptocurrency, I've heard people talk about there's a credit-free loan, how you can actually make a loan to yourself. And that was one of the things that intrigued me about getting into cryptocurrency. And so will you talk a little bit about that, how that works, or, if you give us like the Reader's Digest version of that? What are your thoughts in regards to doing credit-free loans as it relates to if you own cryptocurrency?
So if you own cryptocurrency, you can actually take it and put it on a number of different platforms. And you can get a loan. So if you have $100,000 worth of Bitcoin and you want $65,000, or you want to take a loan against that Bitcoin, again, that saves you from having to pay taxes because you're not selling it, you're taking a loan against it. There's a loan to value amount that has to stay in there. So let's say I give them $100,000 worth of Bitcoin. And again, I do say give, because you have to give them your Bitcoin. They're in control of it. And that means you have to give them your private keys and all, where you're giving them your Bitcoin. So you no longer actually own it. They're holding it as collateral. They give you $65,000. The good thing is if the price of Bitcoin goes up, then all of your interest and all the things that you would normally pay back are being paid because the price of Bitcoin is going up in value. But let's just say hypothetically the price of Bitcoin drops while your Bitcoin is in that loan, then you're going to be forced to put more money in to keep that loan to value ratio where it needs to be for that platform. And I actually have an adult son who did that right around the time Bitcoin dropped to 30, and he lost his Bitcoin to that platform. Because again, you're not in control of your Bitcoin. You have to actually give it to them. They give you the loan and then they hold it as collateral. So either way, you need to really understand the volatility has all to do with whether or not you walk away from that loan unscathed or just with the fiat that you've traded it in for.
Right. Okay. So when we come back, we're going to take a couple of more questions from the viewers. But in the meantime, you guys, please reach out. Write those numbers down for Miss Naja Roberts. And we got to pay the bills. Miss Naja, I know you understand that. So we'll be right back. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll get to as many of your questions as we possibly can. We'll be right back.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening an education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
A lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. I can't lie and say it was easy. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Thank you for watching the You Didn't Get the Memo show with your inspirational host, Gloria Bailey Ray. It's your contributions that make this happen. To become a sponsor, send an email to youdidn'tgetthememo@gmail. That's the letter U, didn't get the memo. If you're not in a space to be a sponsor, but you like what you hear, we simply ask that you support what you like by making a contribution to the show. There are 3 ways to make an online donation. Visit paypal.me/Gloria Bailey Ray or Cash App or Venmo, Gloria Bailey Ray. Give what you can. Your support is appreciated.
All right. I want to thank you guys for hanging in here, and thank you for all of your questions. Some of you, I see that you're doing some exchange back and forth about information. One of the questions that came up before we went to break was this by Mr. B. What hot wallets and cold wallets would you suggest? And as I said earlier, apparently Mr. B is knowledgeable in this arena, but I've not heard the term hot wallets versus cold wallets. So will you just kind of quickly talk about that you would suggest, please?
Yes, ma'am. So, Mr. B, I appreciate that question. So I'm going to go really quickly in respect of everybody's time. I actually have 4 categories of wallets to just really help people understand how important it is, how important these wallets are. So first we have the hot wallet. The hot wallet, not your keys, not your coin. Coinbase, Binance, Gemini, all those platforms are hot wallets because they own you bought the Bitcoin on their platform, but they own it. You are not self-sovereign. That's a hot wallet. You can trade quickly. You can do what you need to do. Hot. Warm would be halfway online, halfway offline. I call these warm wallets because they're software. This is the first time you become self-sovereign. So that would be your Black Wall Street wallet. That would be your Edge wallet. That would be Exodus. That would be Blue Wallet. Those, again, are software that you download on your cell phone. So those is what I call warm wallets. And then you have cold wallets. Cold wallets are actual wallets that are 100% offline. You put them in your safe deposit box or under your mattress. They're physical devices, and they're only online when you go plug it into the computer and you actually, plug it in. That's why they're cold. They're 100% offline. Those, again, you're self-sovereign because you own your private keys. Nobody controls it. And then there's what I call a ice cold wallet. And it's actually those sheets of paper that you get from those Bitcoin ATM machines that are in the neighborhood where you buy Bitcoin and they spit out your private and your public keys. And I call those ice cold wallets because those sheets of paper are actually where you can access your Bitcoin. But the problem with those is not the problem. The good thing about them is you can put them in your safe deposit box, or you can put them in, a file cabinet or whatever. But the bad part is if you spill water on them or you lose those sheets of paper, the access to the Bitcoin is gone forever. So they're hot wallets, exchanges. Warm wallets are software. Cold wallets are actual devices. And ice cold wallets are sheets of paper that house all of your Bitcoin information on it, so you have access to it. So I hope that helps people understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw a couple of viewers were saying that they couldn't see the information that I was posting on the screen. So I did copy and paste it for those of you that are on YouTube, and you should have that information. It's Naja at cryptoblockchainplug.com, and her contact information is 424-317-7373. So you guys be sure and check that. But I know that those of you that are on Facebook, you should be able to also see it. All right. So Miss Naja, I mean, you said so much. You've got dialogue going. Like people are like, whoa, 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 whoa. All right. So this is rapid fire. Let me just say, tell everyone again about the question was, is there a Black-owned cryptocurrency? Boom. What you got to say to that?
There are several. There are several. One of them is Guap Coin, Guapcoin, Guap Coin. You have Odua Coin, ODOWA Coin. You have several different coins that are coming out. One called Skrilla, one called Vibranium, one called Exodus. There are tons. There's a Haiti coin. There are so many different coins, and they will all be housed on our Black Wall Street wallet, because what we're doing is making a digital platform that all of our cryptocurrencies can be housed on with the Black community, and that's going to be on the Black Wall Street. So download the Black Wall Street wallet and start to look at all these different coins that we're going to be listing specifically for our community.
And that's in the App Store.
Yes,
So,
it's
all
in the
right.
App Store. And
Yeah.
also, just really quickly, I do a segment every single month called Coinomics.
Okay.
And this month on Coinomics, I'm bringing on a coin called FAM coin, FAAM coin. It is a black cryptocurrency company. So you'll be able to learn about them and what they do.
Oh, okay. All right. So, with that, here's the thing. What do you want to say to the viewers who are still sitting on the fence and not willing to embrace blockchain? I know you can go on that, so I'm just going to give you the platform. Go for it.
Well, folks, the train has left the station. And if you're not on the train, again, you're going to get on the train at the price you deserve. Because that train is, the main seating is going to fill up. And you're going to have to pay those VIP or first class prices if you don't get in here and really start to understand this technology. It's not going anywhere. The only thing that is happening in the United States is the banks are trying to figure out how to get ahead of it. So they've done everything they can to make it look unappealing to our community. But we've really figured out if we get this right, we can close the wealth gap and we can change the financial trajectory of our families. We no longer have to hear our seniors saying, I'm on a fixed income, because you don't have to be. You can make the decision to start to learn. We have the platform to help you do that. We have the white glove service for our community, for our seniors, so that you don't have to do this alone. This is not about the money for us, not at all about the money. This is about changing what has been happening to our community over the last 150 some odd years. We have got to do something different, and we're here for you. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah, and I think you put it very nicely. The saying goes, if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got, which is, we can see, which is nothing. And to those who are at that age of retirement or thinking about retirement, and you don't want to have to take on doing another job, I mean, it's something you really have to think about. How I need to do something different. I need to make the change. And one of the things is doing it in such a way with someone. Miss Naja comes with huge credentials and also people who trust and know her. And I'm just saying, if you don't step out there, you'll always be left there on the bank. And she already said, look, the train left that station a long time ago. So it's really time, and this is what the show is about, is bringing to you that relevant, factual, mainstream information, helping you to be informed. So let's get with it. I see that there's just a comment. Equity Coin will be another Black-owned crypto that supports affordable housing. Thank you, Tony, for that. Well, I guess that goes without saying. This is what Ms. Naja just said. Bank spread, FUD, FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I like that. I have to hold on to that. So here's what I'd like to ask you, Naja. What do you want people watching the show to take away today? Action items. What do you want them to do? Not just take it and embrace it. They've got your information, but when you think about in the grand scheme of things, what are the nuggets that people should be taking away from today's show?
First of all, just get started. No matter where you are, what your financial situation is, just get started. $5, $50, $500, $50,000, wherever you can, you start there. And this every single month, really start to pay attention, not pay attention to the news, because again, they are trying to set fear, uncertainty, and doubt out into the atmosphere. Just understand that money is changing. We've got about 5 years, family, to make a change in our communities. And this is our time. We are early. We are here. We want to make sure that you just start today. Again, download the app. If you don't want to download the Black Wall Street app, and again, this ain't about the money for us. This is about access. Take out your Cash app and buy yourself some Satoshis. The smallest increment of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. Just buy some and hold it. Watch what it does. but also start to educate yourself. Find the right people, the right community. Send me a text message. I'll get you involved with our community. I teach literally every day for free on Clubhouse. I have an hour called the Crypto Virgin Hour. Just reach out, ask me questions. I'm here. You have family members. You may have a spouse that doesn't believe. We're not here to convince anybody. We're here to educate because, again, money is changing.
Awesome. Just thank you. I can't say enough. I'm going to say to you, Miss Nadia, don't you go anywhere. I'm going to be right back with you. I do want to say to all of our viewers, first of all, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you, and I appreciate the questions that you pose. I'm going to ask you to do something to please support our efforts by inquiring about our sponsorship opportunities, donors, packages, and if you'd like to just be a supporter. Every little bit helps, but this is the type of information that I strive to bring to you. Be sure and follow me on all my social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google, Reddit, you name it. I am all over that. But let's each one reach one, teach one, support one, not talk about it, but let's really and truly be about it. Our show today is actually sponsored by Crispy. And I want to thank all of you guys so much for being on the show, for helping me, and continuing to support our efforts. Until this time next week, guys, I want you to go out. I want you to be safe, be well, and continue to pay it forward. I'm your host, Gloria Bailey Ray, and I thank you. Be well. Peace out.